He might just be the biggest sports fan of anybody here at Benaroya Hall. Duff McKagan.
Art,
Duff,
how are you?
I'm well. Good to see you.
Good being here.
Yeah. Have you made a few of these?
You're making waves here. You know
well,
that?
now that you're here, we are officially big time. Thanks for stopping by. Have you had a chance to review the field, and do you have any favorites in the contest here, or are you just here for the party?
I'm kind of here for the party.
I had a hunch.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen the field. We just walked in.
Okay.
I just think this thing. Last year was the first year I came here.
Okay.
And I was amazed, and maybe I'm just in the dark, but how long this thing's been going on?
78 years.
Yeah.
It's the longest and largest of its kind in the U.S.
Yeah, it's a major production.
Yeah,
too.
and it's really a lot of fun. I think a lot of people who haven't been here don't realize the significance, the people, and the traditions, really, to connect the current generation with those that have gone before. It was fun here to see Spencer Haywood and Lenny Wilkins and so many people who made Seattle a real sports town.
Slick Watts.
Yeah, Slick was here. We just had him on before you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we even had Kenny Mayne of ESPN, who's going to be our host tonight.
He is. He's
Yes,
the host.
he was.
That's
This was
great.
a stealth discovery here because we'd been lobbying to get Kenny because he hosted 2 years ago, and he's always got a million commitments, because he's got to cover the wife carrying championships in Finland or some other obscure sport.
Of course.
But he showed up here, we nailed him, and now eventually we're going to get to you as the host.
The wife carrying championships.
Yes,
Is that a real thing?
That is a real thing.
That's
yes,
awesome.
and Kenny has covered it
I'm
among
sure
everything else.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about the history of your sports passions, because you are everywhere on sports talk radio and writing.
And that's weird, right? So I'm just a sports fan. Maybe I have a bit more renown because I play in rock bands, and I think really the first guy who pegged me as a sports fan, who was attached to sports radio, was Gas.
Sure, Mike Gastineau, yes.
And he would come to gigs, and we'd talk about sports, and I would look. I'm like, "You're the Gas man."
Yeah, you were as impressed with him as he was with you.
Absolutely, and because he's guys who are people that are that knowledgeable with sports really impress me, and I'm a Seattle homer.
Right.
I'm down in LA. I've been down in LA maybe half the time since 1984. I still, I can't. Like the Lakers I'm still in enemy territory being down there.
Yeah.
I really am. I feel that way. I wear my Sonic stuff, or I wear my Seahawks
What
stuff.
were your big passions as a kid growing up here, as far as sports? Sonics occupy most of your time?
Well, okay, so the Sonics, yeah, because I was born in '64. So when I had a paper route, one of my early memories, I was probably in 4th grade. I had a Seattle Times paper route, and there was a competition to get a Slick Watts T-shirt
Really?
between the paper boys. There was some internal competition the Times had, and I got the T-shirt.
You did?
Yeah, and I
Wow.
went to a championship game. My dad took me to one of those.
If you'd have kept delivering the paper, they would have been in much better shape financially now, I think.
Right.
Yeah, you might not have been if you'd still been a paper
My
boy.
back would have been probably
Well,
sore.
there's- yeah,
we
that's-
wore those bags,
That's true. Yeah, you had to get out of that real quick. I
yeah.
can see
So
that.
and then
So you were around for the title
I
time?
went
Yeah.
to one of the games, and when the Seahawks, when we got the Seahawks expansion team, my Gil Dobie football team, or Pee Wee, maybe it was right before Gil Dobie. We played at halftime for a game.
Did you really?
At the first season. Big, huge thrill. The Mariners.
Wow, the
coming
Kingdome,
in.
and yeah.
And seeing the Huskies turn in the late '70s with Warren Moon and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. Don James made a big difference with that.
So
group.
if you grew up when I grew up, you were just in,
Yes.
and that was it.
And then Ken Griffey came along.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the Mariners whole thing, and so I've been a Seattle sports fan ever since. Really diehard, and there's a lot of us musicians. We're on the road a lot, and all the Seattle guys we trade.
Yeah, well, there is a connection. If you are on the road as much as you are and traveling around, connecting back to home through sports is a natural.
And maybe that for me, in my case, maybe that's what it is. I'm gone a lot, and I have been gone a lot, and Seattle sports really do keep me connected. And
did you have a particular hero among all the athletes that you admired as a kid growing up?
Oh, Well, I would say like Slick Watts.
Slick, that's cool.
Yeah, when I was involved with Seafair this last summer.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the King Neptune.
Right.
And I was the Grand Marshal.
Cool.
And he knighted me, and I had my wife take pictures. And I was like a little kid, and she goes, she knew the importance of that guy to me, and
that's neat.
And he was like every
and that's really what drives a lot of what Chris Hansen's passion, the arena developer here. He grew up in the same time. He had the same heroes, and he also saw what an impact those players had on the kids in Rainier Beach, where he grew up. Sure. As role models. That was a time when the gang culture started coming into Seattle in a big way, and he saw the impact of athletes and what they could do for a community, and that's a big part of why he's doing what he's doing. So
I went to one of the city council. It was a meeting. I won't say who it was with.
It was finance committee or something. Yeah.
Well, one of them. It was last summer on behalf of the arena solution thing, and. There was a head of construction there, and there was a head of minority business, and they had me there sort of like, I don't know why, entertainment. But the head of construction, he coaches basketball in White Center, and he said, we don't see the green shirts anymore. We see the blue shirts and the red shirts of whoever teams are blue and red.
Right.
I don't know who, but and of course the blue and red also are gang colors.
Right.
So it was very interesting to hear that. And he said, we get green back, there won't be the red and the blue anymore.
Yeah.
And it was pretty poignant.
That's a very interesting. Simple. Yeah, it's a very interesting observation, but it gets lost in all the talk about financing and money and so on. But Hansen is quite eloquent when he talks about the difference he sees or difference he experienced as a young boy growing up in Rainier Valley, and how much athletics and sports figures meant to him. So that's a real sincere driver in his ambition to get a new arena here.
Yeah.
So, well, Duff, thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Always good to see you. Yeah. Well, get in there and enjoy. Slick is in there somewhere. He was in that chair a few minutes ago. Cool. So go in there.
Can I take the chair? Can I take the chair?
You can, but you can't have the vest.
Right. The vest is top shelf.
Cool. Yeah. Chick magnet.